I'm Clint Arthur, and this is Celebrity Expert Spotlight. Today we have America's cyberist, Kevin Fream, best-selling author of Easy Prey and Change Your Game. Kevin, thanks for coming in. How are you, and what's going on in the world of cyberists?
Man, I'm fantastic, Clint. And I'm continuing on in my mission. You know, I'm just a poor, handicapped kid from rural Oklahoma, and now my mission is to help 1 billion people with cybersecurity.
Hey, that's fantastic. You've been doing a lot of change in your life. Tell us about change and your philosophy of change.
Well, dealing with technology is really all about, I have to get over this change thing because things are different. But a few years ago, I was in some media training in Vegas, and I was sitting around with some other participants around a huge conference table, and I don't know, we were talking about just small talk like we were doing, and we were talking about teeth whitening. And I was saying, hey, I've been trying to do oil pulling. And then the instructor comes in and he goes around the room hearing what we're talking about, and he goes around and points to people and says, smile. And he goes around and finally he turns to me at random and goes, okay, smile, Kevin. And I couldn't really smile, but I tried the best I could. And he looked at me and he goes, hey man, you really need some dental work done. And he didn't mean it mean, but it was a body blow. I was humiliated as I looked around the room at blank expressions. Nobody laughed, but I saw, some humorous expressions, some disgust. And, in the back of my mind, I heard this playful little line from 24K Magic and Bruno Mars and said, why you mad? Fix your face. And it was at that point that I said, listen, I have so much more to give the world. I'm getting close to, my father died at a young age. I'm getting close to that. And I don't want to go out of this world without giving more, and also just being able to smile. So I decided that I would have double jaw surgery. I went to doctors, and this one Jewish doctor said, well, you could go and you could get apparatus from Africa and pull your jaw out. And it may take months or years. And there were several other things. And finally I decided, hey, I'm just going to do the surgery, but it was scary. Some people, the really rare cases, your jaw didn't grow back together and there was infection, and they had to remove the whole lower part of your jaw. And if you had double jaw surgery, they may even have to remove your nose. And then they don't wire you shut anymore. You can still open and move your mouth. But I was terrified I struggled just to even swallow, vitamins or the occasional Tylenol.
You had to be fed with a syringe?
I had to be fed with a syringe. So, 200 cc's of whatever you could mix up in there, which isn't a lot. And then, half of it dribbled down your face, which you couldn't feel, which was humiliating as well. But, it was all worth it, because coming out of it, I now have lips and I can smile like everyone else.
That's awesome. What is your best advice to people who are dealing with fear of change?
Growing up, I was Ralphie from the Christmas Story. And, my nemesis was Billy. He was a 4th grader, nearly twice my size. I was only in the 2nd grade. Every day after school, he would run and tackle me. And every day I'd have to explain, why were the knees of my pants stained or ripped? Or why that one day I didn't have my new belt? And so I went and asked my dad and said, Dad, I have this bully. What should I do? And he goes, you need to have courage don't be easy prey. And I said, okay, that can't really work. Dad, I need to tell them that we're Presbyterian? He said, no, you need to fight back. You need to be prepared. I didn't know if any of that would work. But finally one day it occurred to me, hey, why am I afraid? He can't hurt me anymore. So I turned around and tackled Billy. And as we rolled and got up, I hit him with a perfect combination, 1, 2, nose and eye. And he staggered off crying, and I never ran home from school again. And the biggest thing I can tell you about overcoming fear is you have to take some action even if you're afraid, because that's part of being courageous, and it may not always work out, but this is what you learn in life.
After you have had the courage, did you notice a change in yourself as a person, as a man?
At every point in my life, but especially stepping up, it changes who you are. And I would like to say that in every instance of my life, I've overcome, and acted really courageously in every situation. But I haven't. But, in really big things and even some small, I really have. And it gives you so much confidence. And it's an example for others is what you don't really understand. And you're showing personal excellence. And it's one of the things that's missing today. If you can do it, then other people can do it. And it makes us all come together in unity instead of so much division.
What is one thing that you think about when you feel the fear of change, but you want to go ahead and make the change?
I think about dying. My father died taking out the trash under the old oak tree when I was 16. It was a total shock. I was just really getting to know him. And that's haunted me my whole life, just the fear of death. And, it's now or never. If you want your life not to be the same, you have to change your game.
My guest today has been Kevin Fream, America's Cyberist. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Celebrity Expert Spotlight. We'll see you next time. Great job.